Hello everyone, this is Lorraine from Card Creations, and today I have a Mother's Day project to share with you. And I have used the Fancy Frames Cricut cartridge, and I've cut this beautiful filigree frame which is button number 18 at 5 inches. The size of my card is 5.5 by 7.5, so it's a nice large card. That way you have enough room to add these beautiful elements to the front of your card. So we'll go ahead and get started. I've got my card base, and the first thing I'm going to add to it is a couple layers. And I've got this pretty fuchsia type color and a white matte that'll go on top of that. So we'll go ahead and add that first. And I'm going to try to go as quickly as I can because this project takes a little bit longer than some of the simpler cards that I make, because there's a lot of elements to this card, and of course it's a Mother's Day card, so we want it to be extra special. So hang in there with me for this little bit longer than usual video. Okay, I've added one layer of foam tape to the back of my first mat, and that is going to be adhered there, but we need to add our fancy frame to the front first. And I've added, let's see, I think I added, is this 2 or 1 layer? Okay, this is 2 layers of foam tape. And remember, you can get your foam tape for $1.50 for a very large roll at Big Lots in the hardware department. And it is acid free, so you don't have to worry about that if you're adding a photo to your frame. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to the front of my card. There we go. See how pretty that is? And I'm going to go ahead and add my ribbon. I've already tied my bow. That way we can move along swiftly with the card project, and it hopefully won't take too long. So I'm going to go ahead and slip that on. There we go. And just kind of center my bow. Make a little adjustment. Now remember, when you are adding your foam tape, to leave a space for your ribbon to on the edge of the card, so it doesn't go over the foam tape. So that's what I've done here. And take those little markers off. And I think what I'm going to do is run a little bit of adhesive to the back to keep my ribbon in place. So I'm going to just scoot that up a little bit and add a little bit of my tape runner there. And make sure I've got this centered. Looks pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and peel away my foam tape. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to add, I even prepared, a little bit of foam tape on top of the ribbon so that we still have our 4 sides covered with the foam tape. So we'll go ahead and remove the backing with my short nails. Let's see if I can, this is what holds me up. Okay. And we're also going to make an easel to put our card on. I cut my easel at 6 inches. I'll show you that in just a minute. And it was a little too small. So for a card this size, I would probably recommend maybe an 8-inch easel. And I think it'll add that extra touch to your Mother's Day card when you present it to whomever. Mother, mother-in-law, sister who has children. Lots of neat ideas for Mother's Day that you can give cards to. Okay. Come on, one more. This is what takes so much time. Sorry guys. Here we go. Alrighty, so now we're going to get our base card and add that to the front, and let's make sure we have the opening at the bottom. There we go. And that goes right on there. Perfect. I love it. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and focus on the floral spray that I added to the front. And I'm using some leaves that I cut using a Spellbinder's die, but there's also leaves on the cartridge that I used for the flowers, and that cartridge came from let's see, Flower Shop Cricut cartridge, and I cut the smaller flower. Let's see, I cut this size flower at 1.5 inches, and I cut 3 in white and 3 in pink, and then I cut the smaller one in actually I cut the larger flower at 2.5 inches, and then these itty bitty ones I cut at 1.5. So that's what we're going to focus on next, but we're going to go ahead and add our leaves first. And I'm going to, let's see, I think I'm going to start off with this one up here. It doesn't have to be exactly the way I arrange them, but it'll give you a guideline. And I like to add some of my leaves first, and then my flowers, and then if I see any empty spaces, I'll go ahead and add a little bit more to the empty spots. Come on, glue. There we go. Okay, let's see. And you can cut these up and divide them if you feel that they're too big. Put that there. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start placing some of our flowers. We're going to take the larger one, start adding them, and I like to alternate the colors and not keep like all the same color in one area. I just like to kind of mix them up. So there. This actually goes really quick with your glue gun. Okay, let's see. I'm going to save that one for another area. I want to put my sentiment on and add that on my sentiment. And let's see, let's go down here, maybe right there. Okay, and then I'm going to glue my ribbon to my card and then add a white flower to the top of the bow, just like that. Okay, and then our sentiment, I ran this off on my computer, this little poem, and cut it out with the Spellbinder's oval, or you could use your Cricut, and that's going to go about right there. I'm not going to adhere this sentiment since I already have a Mother's Day card. I don't need two, but I'm just going to demonstrate how I could add one of the pink flowers right on that, and you can add, and I'm ready to add a few more leaves. Like, I like this leaf here. This one reminds me of the Martha Stewart punch that everybody was crazy about at one Christmas, making little wreaths out of them. So we'll just go ahead and pop those up a little bit. Add a few more. Let's see, like that. Okay, get this one and divide it up a little bit more. Just tuck them in, kind of fluff it up. cute? And who doesn't like to receive flowers at Mother's Day, right? And this could be a keepsake. You could add a photo to the front, and that would be nice to keep on your little easel that I'll show you in just a few minutes. See how it starts to fill in nicely? Okay, and the next thing we're going to do is hopefully start working on the inside. Got a just simple mat to put on the inside, and I've also showed you in the past how to make my stick pins, and I've added some stick pins to the front of this card as well. And let's see, I think that's pretty much what we need on that one. So we'll go ahead and add our stick pin, and these are going to go right down here. Just like that. Okay, so that would be the front of the card, and you would adhere, of course, your sentiment to the front. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it open, and all I've done to the inside is cut a pink and white mat, and looks like I ran out of adhesive, but we'll just go ahead and just pretend we got all four sides covered. And the only thing left that we'll have to do is trim away some of our ribbon, give it a nice little edge. Okay. And then for the finishing touch, I've made some of these little handmade by Lorraine little tags, and all I do is adhere it to the back, and I've run it on my computer, and it makes it very simple to print out and punch out with a paper punch. And there we go, our Mother's Day card project. And now I will show you the cute little easel I made, and this one I believe is at the bottom of the project sheet down here, and you do have to cut this and assemble the pieces together. I used regular cardstock, and it is very sturdy. I know some people have cut two of them, and two of each piece, and adhered them together, but that's not necessary. It does make a very sturdy easel. And I want to show you a card that my friend Gigi made for me for my birthday, which was in March, and look how adorable that is. So if you want to make an easel for your Mother's Day card, like I said, I'd recommend that you cut it at 7 inches, and I think that will accommodate this card. Thank you very much for watching and joining me today.